welcome back to Wholeness and Wellness Counseling's On the Couch series. I am Tracie Rogers, and today we're here with Akilah Richardson, and we're continuing our conversation. This is part 3 of a conversation that we're having about the emotional issues, the mental issues that women who are struggling with infertility often have to deal with. So we spoke about the emotions that come up, then we spoke about how they manifest in our relationships, how they affect our behaviors, how they affect our thinking. And today we want to close this off by talking about what's the next step. How do we begin to deal with this?
I think first of all, catharsis is very important. You need to find a space where you can just kind of express all that you're going through. The anxiety, the shame, the sadness, the grief. But you have to be careful who you share that story with.
Yeah.
Because like I said before, it can be a disenfranchised grief. So there are people who be tempted to invalidate what you're feeling and say, well, you know, look what you have going for you, you don't need a child, etc., etc.
You have a good husband.
You have a good husband. And you want somebody who will not tell you those things. You want somebody who will hear this is really painful for you.
You know, Akilah, when we talk about this, I think about all of the silence that's going on.
Yeah.
There's silent grief. There's silent, it's manifesting in other ways. So there's so much secrecy here.
Yeah.
So you need someone who can hear your story without judgment.
Yeah. And it could be a friend or it could be a therapist. I mean, that's one of the things that happens here at Wholeness and Wellness Counseling Services, providing a space for both men and women to talk about infertility or other reproductive health issues as well. The second thing is to accept what's happening.
Yeah.
A lot of times we're in denial about what's going on with our bodies. You know, so accepting this is what's happening with my body. And then of course that will propel me then to go and seek help if I desire help. You know, and help is definitely available now. I mean, we're no longer in a time where we can just feel like, you know what, we cannot conceive naturally, so it's over, right? We have 2 very competent fertility clinics here in Trinidad and Tobago, Trinidad and Tobago IVF and Barbados Fertility Clinic, and they're here to assist women via IVF, which is in vitro fertilization, or IUIs, which is intrauterine insemination.
So you're moving really quickly here.
Okay.
So let's talk about these 2 things.
Right.
Understanding that we're not experts on this.
We're not.
But so you said there are two routes that you can go through.
Well, those are 2 of the routes you can go through. But the point is, modern science is here to help couples if they want to access help through IUI or IVF. And there of course there are other options. Adoption is also an option.
Yeah.
A lengthier process, undoubtedly, but it's also an option as well. And we know that these options, especially IVF, is very, very expensive.
Yeah.
You know, and though in Trinidad and Tobago, those 2 clinics attempt to provide a low-cost service, it is for the average person, it can be very expensive. So at the end of it, you have a decision to make. Am I going to pursue that route, or am I going to reconstruct my understanding of myself? And of course, that can happen in therapy. We can work with couples and with women with just understanding childlessness and how working through childlessness and constructing a new identity, a new healthy whole identity around childlessness, but not in any way dismissing the pain. For some women it would be a lifelong pain.
Yes.
So supporting them through it. For some women it never ends, and that's okay. So supporting women through it, if it goes on for a very, very long time, but helping them at the same time to construct certain identity where they can feel some semblance of happiness and wholeness.
It's so important that you say that, because you know, you talk about acceptance. Sometimes people get to acceptance, but they haven't really processed all of the feelings. So you get to acceptance in anger, or acceptance with withdrawal, acceptance with loneliness, acceptance in silence. So acceptance and processing it, and understanding that for some people, this is a pain that will haunt them, that will always be a part of them.
And you know what, like I want to stress, it is okay for the pain to be there. We just have to find a safe space to always be talking about it. So if we know people who are struggling with infertility, we never want to tell them to get over it. Yeah?
Absolutely. Thank you so much. This has been a really meaningful conversation. So if you're a woman out there, or if you're a partner or a friend of a woman out there who is dealing with infertility, we just hope that this broadens your mind about some of the issues that they're dealing with. If you're a woman out there who's going through these struggles, know that there is help. And there's processing to happen. There is a way forward.
Most definitely.
Thank you so much for joining us.